CageJunkies. I am here with Mr. Bellator, if I may call you that. Bjorn Rebney. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about
Excellent.
you?
I am excellent. I was totally excited to be here. Took some amazing shots. Thank you for your generosity allowing us to cover this event.
Sure.
During the press conference, I heard huge aspirations to go global. Tell us, what is that about?
Well, it's about expansion. You know what? Mixed martial arts, from my perspective, is a sport that is extremely easily understandable. It doesn't matter where your culture is. It doesn't matter if you're talking about Brazil or Mexico or Azerbaijan or Turkey or France or the United States. It's a very simple sport to understand. It's as pure a sport as we have in the world of sports today. So what we've tried to do is very aggressively expand the borders and expand the territories that Bellator reaches. I think we're in 41 different countries around the world right now. And with our preliminary show now streaming live on Spike.com, you can find us for the preliminary events anywhere on Earth. So we're continually trying to press the boundaries of different territories and hopefully can start bringing some live events to different countries around the world in short order. We've gone into Canada now, which is obviously a fairly simple trip, but we're going to try to push the boundaries and go into Central America, potentially South America, and try to do events overseas, which would be great for us.
Now, being a South American myself, I'm from Peru. My family has fallen in love with mixed martial arts. I mean, they talk about it, they talk to me about it, they Facebook me, you know, because they see that I cover these events. And I would say there's a hunger for this pure combat sport that they just aren't getting.
Yeah.
Are you trying to follow a game plan that other companies have followed, or are you just pioneering this?
Well, obviously the UFC has had success in certain markets across the globe. They have a very prolific brand and extremely well known. What we're trying to do is to develop some... I've always been a firm believer that the stars of the organization should be the fighters. The fighters should bring the organization along. The organization shouldn't bring the fighters along. The fighters should be up front. So if you look in Brazil, we have a collection of spectacularly talented Brazilian fighters. The Pitbull brothers jump to mind, but there's fighter after fighter. Victor Viana, who won tonight, is from Brazil. Next week, you're going to see Luis Nogueira. You're going to see Dantes. You're going to see some spectacular Brazilian talent. We have some great fighters out of Argentina. We have some great fighters out of Mexico. We have some great fighters out of France. Obviously, tonight you saw Alexander Slamenko from Russia. So I think that our job is to build up those stars and ultimately allow those stars to pull us into foreign markets. Go to Brazil, go to Russia, go to some of those markets where they can say, wow, I saw him on MTV2 or Spike.com or Epic. So I think that's where we can start to really get momentum going.
You guys have an amazing pool of talent. I gotta say, it really is good. Usually the prelims are okay. These prelims were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Are you having just an easy way about getting this top level talent?
It's never easy, but it has been easier of late. The better your distribution platform becomes. When we landed the deal with MTV2, and then subsequently Epix, and now unleashing Spike.com on the world in a partnership, it expands the desire for young, talented fighters to come here and fight. Now, when we're pitching an undercard, when we're telling a fighter, hey, you can be on the preliminaries, they're looking at those preliminaries and saying, wow, I can be on Spike. I can be on Spike.com in my preliminary fight. The whole world can see my fight. So it's a great recruiting tool, and it allows us to continue to build the qualitative level of fighters fighting for the organization. So we're just going to keep doing it, keep going out and recruiting the best fighters we can. I don't care what language they speak. I don't care what they look like. I don't care where they come from. All our goal has always been is the best talent. And that's what we're fortunately in a lot of the weight classes getting. So,
one last question. I'll put you on the spot. What was your favorite fight of the night?
Boy, I think probably a toss-up. I mean, I think that's a tough one. It surprised me that Alexander Slamenko, with 40 victories and only 3 submissions, pulled off a standing guillotine. That was very unusual. It was shocking. I would have bet the house if somebody had said, "I'll give you 10-1 odds on your house that he'll win by standing submission." I would have said, "I'll take that bet every day of the week." I don't know. Rogers was very explosive. He's a very, very intimidating, explosive-looking athlete, and he wasn't wild explosive. He was controlled explosive, which you love to see in this game because that's what makes. I mean, that's what used to make the Axe Murderer so spectacular to watch years ago. Is he was aggressive and very forceful, but he was controlled in that aggression. I think those two moments kind of jumped out at me. Brian's fight against Jared was back and forth, compelling in its nature and its backstory, but I would say either Alexander or Brian really kind of jumped out at me in terms of performance.
I would agree. We were cage side taking pictures, and they were some amazing moments that I cannot wait to see on the big screen. CageJunkies, Bellator, what an amazing organization. If you've never seen it, you need to get on the ball, get out from under your rock. Bjorn?
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much
I
for the time.
appreciate it.
Have a good one, brother.
Thank you. You know, I think those two moments kind of jumped out at me. Brian's fight against Jared was back and forth, compelling in its nature and its backstory, but I would say either Alexander or Brian really kind of jumped out at me in terms of performance.
I would agree. We were cage side taking pictures, and they were some amazing moments that I cannot wait to see on the big screen. CageJunkies, Bellator, what an amazing organization. If you've never seen it, you need to get on the ball, get out from under your rock. Bjorn? Thank you so much for the time. Have a good one, brother.
Thank you.